Namaste, I'm Vajra, and welcome to part 3 of our 3-part Vinyasa sequence, the Supine section. This practice will be all laying down, you're welcome, and will be more yin, more cooling, stretching postures to complement the heat of the part 2 standing sequence. If you're interested and have the time, part 1 and part 2 are in the practice library, but if you're just feeling like a little yin practice today, let's get started. For this practice, I recommend a strap if you have one, or a long towel if you don't. And we'll begin on our backs where the part 2 standing sequence ended, knees bent. You can take a moment here, maybe even widen the feet and drop the knees together, one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly, just to check in with our breath. As we transition from practice 2 to practice 3, or just as we begin this practice right here and right now in this moment. We will end this class with a Shavasana final resting pose. But in between, we'll get in the hips, the backs of the legs, a little bit of detoxification through twisting, and a happy baby to take us into our deep and final rest. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply, and when you're ready, move the feet so that they're in line with the hips. We're going to start with a little bridge pose flow. Hands come next to the heels, and you'll firm down through the feet, lift the hips, lift the arms all the way up over the head as you inhale. And then exhale, hips down, hands down. Let's do that again. Press through the feet, inhale, lift the hips, lift the arms all the way up, pressing through the back of the head. Exhale, hips down, hands down. Again, inhale, lifting up. And exhaling down. Let's do it 2 more times. Inhale, lifting up. Exhaling down. This time you're going to lift up and you're going to stay up. Inhale, lift all the way up. Press through both feet and lift the tailbone and the hips to the sky, to the ceiling. Backs of the shoulders down, back of the head down. Reach through the hands. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause. And one more breath, really lengthening the spine. And then as you exhale, one vertebrae at a time, come all the way down towards the floor. Bring the arms down. Widen your feet. Drop the knees to the right. Drop the knees to the left, a little windshield wiper action to get any crunchiness out of the low back. Inhale, center, exhale to one side. Inhale, center, exhale to the other side. One more time each side. And then inhaling to the center. Now a proper bridge pose, bring the feet all the way back. We'll just do it 1 time for 5 breaths. You're going to lift the hips, bring the hands underneath you, roll the upper arms under the shoulders, interlace the fingers if you can. Find the backs of the shoulder heads and the back of the skull, no weight on the neck. Lift and open the heart and the throat. Lift and extend the hips and the tailbone up to the sky, pressing through the feet. Inhale, pause. Exhale, pause. Inhale, pause. Exhale, pause. And one more breath. Inhale, lift, pause. And exhale, come all the way down. Find your strap or your towel, rest a moment on your back. And start to unwind the strap. You bring one foot into the strap. Let's say the left foot to start. Nice long extension through the leg. Right leg goes down towards the floor. Inhale deeply. Bring both ends of the strap or the towel into your right hand and then extend the left leg all the way out to the right for a nice long leg extension and twist. Drop your left shoulder blade down and look towards the left arm, the left fingers. You should feel a nice long extension through the hip flexor. Inhale deeply, pausing, and then exhaling deeply, pausing. One more breath in and out. And then really pull the thigh bone into the hip socket to come all the way up. Adjust yourself back onto your center, the center of the spine. Reach the right leg out and reach the left leg out to the left. Put both edges of the strap in the left hand. And then extend the leg out to the left, opening the inside of the thigh. Breathing deeply into that space. Resting, softening, just being with the sensations. Notice if there's anything that arises that wants to take you out of this more yin state of mind. And soften anyway. Go ahead and pull the thigh bone into the hip socket. Reach the left leg all the way up. You can pull on the leg for a moment if that feels good, and then exhale, release it down. Find yourself once again in the center. You can rest in a very short mini Shavasana moment, but it's good practice for our final resting pose. All right, bring it back in. Find the strap now on the right hand, the right foot. So find the strap now on the right foot. Extend the left leg long. Bring both edges of the strap in the left hand, and then extend the right leg over to the left, reaching through the right arm shoulder on the floor. Breathing in and out. The idea is that from the right fingertips to the right toes, there's a long line of luxurious, energetic flow that refreshes and rejuvenates the cells and the body. Inhale, pause. Exhale, pause. And then engage the thigh bone into the hip socket. Pull the leg all the way back up. Recenter yourself with the spine. Take the straps in the right hand and then extend the right leg all the way out to the right. Keeping the left hip tacked down, allowing the hips to open away from each other. If you need to rest your leg on something at any point, that's totally fine as well. Most important is the softening that happens as you breathe in and out. They say, let the pose do the work. A meditation teacher of mine used to say, let the chi, the energy, do the work. It knows where to go. Allow it to move freely. That's our work here in yoga, asana practice. Go ahead and engage the thigh bone in the hip socket. Lift the leg all the way up. You can pull on it a little bit just to lengthen that lifeline. And then exhale, relax it all the way down, mini shavasana. Just find yourself in the center, relax the right leg, relax the left leg, right shoulder, left shoulder. And then bend the knees. Take the right ankle on top of the left knee, pigeon pose. If your knees are safe and comfortable, go ahead and draw the left thigh or the left shin in towards you. Grab it with both hands. And you can feel this opening on the outside of the right hip flexor. Shoulders down, neck long, face soft. Just inhaling and exhaling here. We usually take a few more breaths in pigeon than most of the other pose. It's important. The hips take all the impact of the upper body and lower body and tend to store a lot of tension. It may be that there's trauma or cellular memory stored in these spaces, and by opening up space, by bringing our loving kindness and attention and our breath, we have an opportunity to release something. So if you are interested in releasing something, now is the moment. Whatever that is and however that happens, I support you. You can also practice just being still. I can practice being silent. And then we practice being at peace, the three shantis. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Go ahead and release the left leg down, right leg down. You can wiggle the legs a little bit just to bring a little bit more blood flow into especially the right leg, and then re-bend the knees. Left ankle on top of the right knee. You can grab the right thigh or the right shin. Soft shoulders. Pigeon. Same thing, second side, but one side may be tighter than the other. This is very common. And just acknowledge that. And you may even consider that this has something to do with the way you walk or the way you rest, the way you move through the world. And again, it's okay. It's just something to notice. It's an opportunity to get to know ourselves better, to see our habits and maybe start to become curious about where they come from. How we got to be where we are and who we are in this moment that's ever changing. If we can soften into the recognition that the only constant is change, maybe again we can find more peace, more stillness, more silence. Go ahead and release the right foot down, release the left foot down. You can release both legs down and shake out the legs a little bit if that feels good to you. And then go ahead and draw them in for happy baby. Arms inside the legs, hands outside the feet. Work on taking your tailbone, the sacrum, to the floor. Shoulders to the floor. So actually the whole spine is nice and long. Ankles above the knees. Whatever degree you can make this happen for yourself, be with that, work with that. Enjoy that. This is happy baby pose. Can you be happy in this pose that reminds us of a child, a baby, a toddler, finding its way around the world, a baby finding its feet, a toddler investigating plants and trees and animals and flowers and a whole spectrum of magic and color and vibration that exists in the world that we actually become a little bit desensitized to as we get older. Find that here, just an interest in the present moment. You can move one leg longer than the other, see which one likes it, which one doesn't. And something I've been practicing a lot lately is bringing the knees together a little bit, straightening the legs a little bit, like a forward fold, but on your back. Not halasana, although you're welcome to plow pose if that serves you and if that's in your practice, but just a stretch and extension to whatever degree is available to you, inhaling deeply and then exhaling, releasing everything all the way down again. Shavasana, final resting pose. Send your legs out long, your feet a little bit wide. Send your arms out long, your shoulders very soft. Start to lengthen your inhales and your exhales a little bit more again. We're eventually going to release any kind of breathing pattern, but while we're still here together, setting up the posture, just do a little gentle body scan, feet, ankles, toes, shins, knees, thighs. Feel that whole leg space grounded to the floor and all of those body parts nice and relaxed. Front of the hips, back of the hips, sides of the hips, pelvic floor and the belly, lower belly, mid belly, upper belly, soften. Sacrum, relax, lumbar spine, relax. Solar plexus, heart, lungs, ribs, relax. Collarbones, scapula, shoulders, top, front, back, relax. Upper arms, elbows, lower arms, wrists and fingers and the palms, relax. Throat softens, neck softens, brain softens, face softens, deep relax, eyes soften, ears soften, tongue soften, relax. Shavasana is sometimes translated as corpse posture, so that we may die to the old, to everything that comes or came before can be put to rest. And we become open. We created space today in our practice to bring in new life force energy, new potentials. Allow that to happen here and now. If you feel ready, you'll make gentle inhales and exhales, just noticing them. And gentle movements of the fingers and the toes and the hands and the feet. I always like to take the opportunity to give myself a knee hug in appreciation of all the effort that I have made today, no matter what level of efforting that was. Rocking on my back as a way to reignite the energy, reawakening. Finding my way to fetal posture. If Shavasana is corpse posture, the fetal posture is the rebirthing moment. So being kind to myself, being grateful to myself and to the practices and to those who have brought them to us. And I come up always gently, slowly, so that I may linger in that in-between space for as long as possible throughout my transition into my day. Hands on the heart or in front of the heart. If you have more time, I welcome you to a meditation practice or a breath practice. If this is all the time you have, let's take 5 breaths, 5 moments altogether. Just breathe in and out of our heart space, making an intention for the rest of our day. Thanking ourselves and being thankful in advance for all the grace that we will encounter today. Just for being alive. And that the merits of our practice may be infinite. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. All blessings on your journey.